welcome to the part of Money Life where we talk technical analysis. And when it comes to technical analysis, well, we know you've got favorites because you guys tell me all the time. And I do too. And one of my favorite people to chat with is Toni Turner. She is president of the TrendStar Group. She's the author of a book called Invest to Win. And if you want to learn more about her practice, the books, and more, go to ToniTurner.com. Toni spelled with an I. ToniTurner.com. She's on Twitter at Toni Turner Trade. Toni Turner, welcome back to Money Life.
Thanks, Chuck. Good to be here.
So the last time you were on, you were thinking that the market might be in a bit of a lull, and it was. We got through, of course, the troubles at the end of last year. We got into the snapback rally, and you were in a bit of a wait-and-see mode. Well, we're now at that spot where wait-and-see is about to reach fruition. I mean, the FANG stocks are all declaring their earnings this week, and that may be enough to move the market. Or is it not enough to move the market? What do you see happening here in short order?
In short order, Chuck, you're exactly right, I believe. I think in the short term here, especially the next 2 weeks, but this week is the big one. And we're certainly keeping an eye on Wednesday when we've got, well, beside the big tech stocks, we got Boeing, we got Caterpillar, they're still big deals. We got Microsoft, Facebook on Thursday, we got Intel, we got Amazon, and the S&P 500 has been moving. The thing is the market itself has been in low volume. For the week, it's been, we can call it consolidating. It's in that wait-and-see mode you were talking about. We're only 30 points away on the S&P 500 from the all-time high that was set in September. And then we have words like global growth wandering around, and, of course, that's a longer time. Then we have global trade friction, central banks. I mean, we go on and on here. So I think a lot of people are just standing on the curb looking both ways and waiting to see what's going to come down the road.
Well, okay. But there's a real question here, which is with the market near record highs and having approached it as slowly, do you believe we've got the impetus here to break through that resistance level and set new highs, or do we bounce off of it and go back to support?
Well, and I've been doing this for like 20-some years. I've been sitting in front of these charts, and I know I'm supposed to have an opinion here. The way I like to do the markets, as an old trader saying, is I trade what I see, not what I think will happen. But here's some ideas for you. We're talking about technical analysis here. Did you know that the Russell 2000 can sometimes act as a leading indicator for the broader market? And I like to go back to longer-term charts. So I went back to a monthly chart of the Russell 2000. It's forming like a diamond. It may end up finishing a diamond pattern. That's a negative. And the Russell 2000 hasn't gone along with the S&P 500 reaching almost new highs, the NASDAQ Composite, the NASDAQ 100 reaching almost new highs here. They're all within touching distance of their all-time highs except the Russell 2000. And it's down there wandering around right now at way below its all-time highs that were set last September. And so I'm watching the Russell 2000 lag here. It's down a little bit again this week, and I'm thinking, is it telling us something? It's like the soldiers refusing to go onto the battlefield with the big generals, the S&P, the NASDAQ. So that's one thing I'm watching. The Russell 2000 is a little weak, so we have to depend on the big dudes this week. On Wednesday and Thursday, Microsoft, Facebook, Intel, Amazon, all of those guys, I think, to push the market up to break out and move to new highs.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So what you're saying is underneath the surface, we've got little support or not enough support with a broad market to have a big rally that's going to push us well into new high territory.
Exactly.
But again, the big names may be able to bring us up. Does that worry you at all with the Russell not wanting to confirm what you're seeing on the bigger indexes, the larger cap indexes? Does that worry you at all about what happens if we get disappointment in the big earnings picture this week and how far we could fall?
Well, I think we're in a, I mean, goodness knows we're in a really good economy right now. We're in a business-friendly economy. And so I always say I'm keeping the Russell numbers here. I'm keeping that at my elbow. Do I think it's going to fall as hard and fast as it is in December? No. However, one never knows. I mean, you know the stock market likes to make fools of all of us and go the way it's going to go. I don't see a real turn down, but I see maybe going into the second quarter here as we are, maybe we fall down a little bit and stay in a range. The S&P 500 has plenty of support, potential support we'll call it. It has plenty of support down at 2860, at 2870, 60, 2800, and maybe it trades in a range here for a little while until we see how global trade's going to turn out here. So I don't know that it would fall as hard as it did in November, December. That was tough duty.
Yeah.
But it's moved up so fast since then. Valuations aren't as high as they were in 2018, but they're high. And so I'm really just standing here with some good names and I'm starting to hedge. And I'm one of those people. I'm standing here watching.
A little bit more wait and see, expecting again that it's going to come to fruition and come to a head and move you off of wait and see to see and maybe act, depending on what happens next. Toni, great stuff as always. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Chuck. Thanks for having me.
That's Toni Turner, everybody. She is the president of the TrendStar Group. You can learn more at her website, ToniTurner.com, and she's on Twitter at ToniTurnerTrade. Okay, this was a fun way for us to start the April 23rd edition of Money Life, but we've got lots more to go. Later, we'll be talking about a survey that Eaton Vance did about how advisors are as worried about your tax positioning as they are about what you actually own. But next, something a little more fun. So stick around. There's much more Money Life to go.